which means sometimes they do rub. This car has been a challenge. It looks absolutely amazing. You can't tell it's a 20-plus-year-old car. This car looks absolutely amazing. Hey guys, it's Anthony from Just Keep It Fresh. As you know, we don't just specialize in new car ceramic coatings or paint protection. We also specialize in used cars or restoring old cars and getting them paint protected as well. Now, what's cool about getting old cars paint protected? It requires more time, it requires more skills, and it's more technical as well. So with this Evo 9 coming in, it's one of, I guess, the most technical type of car that we're gonna get. It's old. When I say old, it's aged and matured quite well. It's black, so we've got one of the hardest paint to polish. It's got many different type of old plastic parts that we have to, be careful of and maintain. But finally, it's also got many sort of defects on the paint. When I say defects, it's probably just from wear and tear as well. Now, as you can look at this car, there's so many scratches and so many contamination that we'll have to get rid of before we even start the coating process. Again, as I said before, 80% of our work done in ceramic coating is actually prep work. And this is no difference. Instead of spending, let's say, 4 or 5 hours on a prep work like we would normally do on a new car, this is probably gonna take 8 to 12 hours or even more just to get this car prepped before we even start on the coating process. Now, this car requires a lot of attention. We've done a video on Evo 9 before where we actually look and touch and feel for different aspects of the paint to see, number one, if the paint is in good condition or if it's in bad condition. Looking at any sort of cracked paints or peeled paints and notifying the customer of those areas as well. Look at the different type of materials used so that we know how to better interact with that paint when we're actually doing the polishing or the actual prep work. Now, over here on the back panel on the left, on the right, of the car, we've actually seen that parts of the paint has already peeled off. And this is a really, really good example of why you actually need ceramic coating, because this could happen to your car, a car that you love so much. You might have a Yaris GR that you want to keep for a very long time. You might have an Evo 10 that you want to keep for a very long time, but you don't know what the sun in Australia is actually going to do to your car when you park it outside for a very long period of time. First year is going to be fine. Second year is going to be fine. Fifth year, it's going to be looking a bit, used. Sixth year, you're going to start to see the paint start to peel and crack. And by the time you see the paint peel and crack, I'm sorry guys, it's way too late. You got to get that part repainted. So let's have a look around the car to actually see what is wrong with this car before we even get started on the prepping situation. Now, like many JDM lovers, they like to keep their car low. So over here, you can see how close this wheel and this tire is to the fenders over here, which means sometimes they do rub. And when I say sometimes, I mean 90% of the time. And when they do rub, what happens is that it will actually damage the paint very easily. So when you're looking at peel on a car that's like this, paint peeling, you basically, first thing for JDM car lovers, they like to modify their car, right? When you look at any modified cars, we'll always look over here first to see, number one, if it's cracked or if there's any sort of peeling going on. But obviously, as you can see, it's doing quite well. But over here, if you look closely, there's actually paint peeling over here. And that requires a lot of attention. Number one, the customer needs to know. In this case, the actual customer told me about it first. So I'm sure he's definitely aware of this. And we have to let the customer know that a ceramic coating will not fix this. A ceramic coating can prevent this, but it can't fix things like this. So just remember, the fundamental of coating and paint protection is to avoid this situation, not to fix. So that's something I think you guys have to remember. All right, guys, it's been a couple of days since we've actually worked on this car, and I must say, this car has been a challenge for us. Now, I don't know how many days it was. I think it's 3 or 4 days before we first got this car. Again, we don't work weekends, okay? This is a Monday, so I don't know if you guys are gonna judge us. Don't judge us, please. But we've had this car for a while, and it's, again, been a challenge for us. And the reason why it's so challenging is because, number one, it's black paint. And we've actually got a video coming out talking about black paint and why it's so hard to get black paint looking good. It takes a lot of man hours to actually get this looking like it is now. So, number one is every time we polish, we realize how soft the paint is, and every time we wipe the polish off, it actually scratches. And right now, as Matthew is actually coating the car, he's making sure he's not scratching the car while he's actually coating the car, which is a bit of a hard job, as I would say. Now, my friend over here, Matthew, he's a bit of a JDM geek, so I guess he knows how old this car is, because when we're working on a car, obviously we need to know its age, and then we know how delicate the paint is. So Matthew, you knowing your JDM stuff, how old is this car?
I would say around maybe 20 years old, I reckon.
Around 20 years old?
Yeah.
So this car's 20 years old, and what difference do you see from when we first got the car until now? What difference do you see?
It's a massive difference. Like before, it had so many scratches, swirl marks, and contamination on it. Mm-hmm. And what we've done is like polished it up, got rid of all those scratches and contamination.
Yep.
To make it look how it is now.
And it's phenomenal how it looks right now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you do? What are we doing now? Because I see a huge difference too. Obviously, I haven't personally worked on this car. A lot of other people have. Lots of different hours on this car. So I just want to know what we've done before, which is number one, we polished everything, right?
Yeah.
So what are we doing now, and what are we doing later as well? So what are we actually doing? What are you doing right now?
So what I did before I started coating it now is I was prepping the car, getting rid of all the excess compound and everything like that.
Yep.
Off the car, and
yep.
Before I can apply the flash coating.
Yep. And what are you doing now?
We're just applying the flash ceramic coating now.
Yep. What's the benefit of the flash ceramic coating?
It repels all the dust, water and dirt that may get onto the paint, and makes it really easy to clean off.
Okay, so if I was a customer and I want to get this done, how long do I think the coating is going to last on my car for?
It should last about 10 years.
Awesome. So, well, thank you for that, Matt. Thank you very much.
All good.
So again, most of our people who are working here, they know exactly what is getting applied on the car. So it's not just my face. My face is just part of the brand, but everyone else over here, like Matthew, they're the ones behind getting all these cars done. And again, what he said was spot on. This customer has a heritage that he wants to protect for the next few years, and he's got that peace of mind that in the next 10 years, his paint is not going to go back to how it was before, and it's going to stay protected, again, for the duration of that 10 years, away from those scratches, all those contamination, and then watermarks, and it's going to make it much easier to wash as well. Again, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to coat the car. We're going to show the end product once it's coated. Guys, so we've finally finished this car. Remember, when it first came in versus what it looks like now, there's a huge contrast. It came in dirty, it came in with a lot of watermarks, it came in with a lot of scratches, and came up with a lot of contamination. And what we've done was we removed all that through an in-depth wash, in-depth cleaning. We clay barred the whole entire surface of the vehicle, making sure it was kind of naked and ready to be paint corrected. And what we've done was 3-stage paint correction. Remember guys, 3-stage paint correction isn't always necessary, but especially for a black car like this, with its softness and with its glossiness, we want to get rid of as much scratches as possible, while at the same time bring back the brightness and the glossiness of the paint. And now it looks the way it is. We've finished that up with a protective layer of ceramic coating. We've applied that ceramic coating on. Now the glass layer is bonded onto the paint, meaning that now the paint is a lot thicker. And that is great because that just means that the customer is able to keep this car for a long period of time with the keyword peace of mind, knowing that his car is not going to get damaged from the sun or UV ray or anything that is going to potentially make the car paint peel, so on. And also with the additional function of ease of cleaning and ease of maintenance. And look at how the car looks. It looks absolutely amazing. You can't tell it's a 20-plus-year-old car. This car looks absolutely amazing. All right, guys, so I hope this sums up the video and is super informative for you guys. Now, if you like content like this, please give us a thumbs up to support us. And also, if you don't know, we're actually on YouTube and Instagram as well. So follow those as well so you can see more relevant content. And finally, if you have any questions, don't forget just to drop a message below or comment below, give us a call. We're only one phone call away. And remember guys, just keep it fresh.